Welcome to Cork in the North podcast. Big thanks to everyone for being here with us. We really do appreciate it. Remember, guys, we're fans of them and they're fans of us. Some of you haven't been down yet to the Doan Pub. It's a great place. The Doan Pub on the Lisburn Road. It's a sponsor of Cork in the North podcast. Remember, Cork 25, you get 25% off your food. Wednesday to Saturday, you don't get any. What are you laughing at?
No, sorry, you're scaring me.
No, you just went, Jade, I'm sorry for his behaviour.
Why are you interrupting?
Sorry, no.
I'm just like, it's a scary kind of advertisement.
He isn't warm and friendly with it. He's very aggressive.
Like, listen,
you haven't been. You need to go.
I'd be like, shit.
You know, they're friends of us. We're friends of them.
So much fun on a Saturday.
So literal. No, but keep this all in. Go ahead, Andrew. Finish it off.
Okay, we'll do it again.
No. Yes.
The Doan Pub, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go.
A venue down on the Lisburn Road that we're big fans of. We're fans of them and they're fans of us. Cork 25 gets you 25% off your food on Wednesday to Saturday. They're not open Monday and Tuesday.
He goes into radio voice, doesn't he? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Updates on the Doan.
Last night outside the Doan, there was tune in an altercation. And
keep all this in. Keep all this in, Sean. Keep all this in.
Remember, they're our sponsors and we love them for that. Okay, yeah, we are a sinking ship. And they have an anchor and they're pulling us to some form of safety, and we want to support them.
There we go.
So if you like what we do here, you like the stuff that you get on a Thursday at 6 o'clock, you like the little chats that we have and messing around, please do pop down and that can help repay us by you going in to use their facilities. They have toilets, they have tables, they have
a bar,
they have TV.
They've got toilets. Sold.
Guys, if you need to take your shites and pisses, go down to the Doan. That's the only place.
The guys down there are great. I really like going down there. We're doing a live stand-up show there pretty soon and a live podcast as well. We're big fans of them. It's a great place to go. Functions, birthdays, check it out. Go and watch your sport. Run into the Premier League. There's loads of screens down there as well. You'll be able to do it and also get a bit of food as well, okay? Lisburn Road, the Doan, thank you very much. And finally, before we finish up, please do sign up to the Patreon, £3 a month, extra episodes, discounts on the live tour, the tour tickets that went out. First of all, first dibs in them. There's also a live podcast happening where you are going to get first dibs there. The live podcast could sell out based just on the Patreon alone. So stop.
Slow down.
I'm dilated. Is it diluted or dilated?
It's dilated.
Definitely not dilated.
You're both.
So yeah, please do. All the links are below.
He would be diluted for my daughter.
Joining me this week on the podcast Cork in the North are two people. They're two people. Would you please welcome Jade Henry and Chris Henry. Jade, great to see you back.
I'm Chris Henry.
Oh, not Chris Henry.
Chris Fairly shrunk.
Jade Henry and Aaron Butler.
Oh,
Jade Henry and Aaron Butler on the podcast.
My ESTA.
Cork in the North podcast.
When does it all start paying off, Andrew?
It's got to start paying off this year. Or it's done.
I thought that was the crack last time I was in.
Yeah, it's always the crack.
What?
It's a long-term investment.
I invite you in here in good faith.
In fact.
I
it's that time of the year where you're scraping the barrel.
Yeah, comes around like every April. He's like, it's after every tax year. He pays the tax bill and he goes, right, time to milk the old ticket buyers here.
What do you want about?
No.
People are buying tickets to a reputable show.
Reputable is a loose
What
term.
do you mean it's reputable? I was in London doing gigs recently and the new jokes were working good.
Great.
And I might take a price of 16 quid. It's a lot cheaper than a lot of other people.
It's very Donald Trump.
It's true, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm confused. Have we started recording yet?
Have we started? We're in here.
That's why I was like, why is he getting... I thought he would have saved that.
No. He's straight in. But
straight in.
No, it's all good. Do you want to introduce our guest?
Joining us this week is Jade Henry from the Empire Laughs Back Comedy Club. She's the manager, promoter, booker, face,
brand,
therapist to comedians.
Everybody.
Yeah, my therapist whenever I go anytime.
And obviously Aaron's here as well.
Yeah.
Jade, thanks for coming in. It's your first one in the new studio. Have you been in here before?
It is my first one in the new studio.
Oh,
yes.
good to see you. You keep them well. You look great.
That's what we were just saying.
You look great. You look glowing.
Do I?
You look glowing, yeah.
It's been a year.
A lot
since
better than what you look like on a Tuesday at the Empire, like.
On Tuesday night, exactly after putting the kids to bed.
I'm only joking.
Yeah, no. First time. It's been a year since I've been here. So we were just saying you're back to that scraping the barrel. Got to bring in the big sister for a guest.
The big sister.
The big sister who's 10 years younger and definitely not your sister. But yeah, that's fine.
Oh,
the yearly check-in with Jade, we call this.
Well, I have a monthly check-in. I see her most months. Although the last couple of times I've been down the Empire, she hasn't turned up. Her husband has been roasted.
Last time I was there, it was Big Chris.
Big Chris.
Big Chris choices.
Big Chris is great. We just keep sending him out for drinks and winding him up.
I know. Big golden retriever, Chris.
He was doing the tickets there last time I was in. Didn't somebody in the box, somebody walk in and be like, Chris Henry used to play for Ireland, now you're doing the tickets at the fucking Empire Comedy Club.
He loves it. I know when he doesn't correct them, he's just like, yep, this is the job now.
He is the nicest guy.
How did you end up with him?
I feel like I could take an old-timey leather glove, slap him round the head with it, and he would go get me a Coke Zero. That's how nice he is.
That's what you text me after, like, that day. Not that analogy, but you were like, oh, he's so nice. That's why I started setting him down.
For somebody so violent in a sporting life, in terms of, tackling people and throwing them at the ground and, running in head first at stuff, very easy going, very gentle.
Yeah. Gentle giant. Andrew's boxing this year. Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I know. I actually you didn't do it last year. You did it this year?
No, I
have my license revoked.
The commission won't approve me.
I've offered to fight him so many times, Jade, and he won't take me.
Look, I don't fight special needs, mate. No. What'd you say, sir? You get your DLA revoked if I fight you, big one, know what I mean? What'd you say, Jade, sir?
No, have you got a reason for not doing it?
Oh, just have a life.
Yeah.
Because here's what they all do. They all go, sure, it's charity, sure, blah, blah, blah. And then they all get too serious into it and they all devote their lives to it and they lose and it's just a whole thing.
I was sparring there recently and sure at the end of the spar didn't have to drop the lad off to A&E.
I bet you. Yeah. He had to drop his lad off to
A&E because I sparred him. I hurt him so bad I had to drop. Yes. That was the point of it. That was the point there.
Who are you fighting?
I'm fighting Connor from Q Radio. Connor Brennan, the co-host.
Oh, right, okay.
Now, is it going to be a fight or are you and him putting together a WWE-style drama show wrestling match? I feel like you're trying to pull the wool over everyone's eyes here, Andrew. Everyone's showing up to this thing in good faith to see you actually fight.
Capacity.
And to see you fight. You better not do the people out of a fair fight, is what I'm saying.
We're in talks. We're in talks about both of us not getting hurt and both of us putting in a spirited performance.
Okay.
Are you allowed to practice with him beforehand?
I'm going to fight him a couple of times so we get comfortable with each other and understand each other's levels.
It's not a dance.
Yeah.
It's fighting. I want to know how, his 100% force punch could break my nose. So I'm saying, look, can you just do 50% then, and I'll do 50%. You got to understand this. We're doing this for the children. Right, we're doing this for the kiddies.
You're doing it for attention.
Yeah, yes, Jade. Say it how it is.
You're not doing it for any sort of charity.
We're doing it for a profile.
Yeah.
No, we're doing it to sell tickets to my tour, which are available on enjoyingcomedy.com.
How many seconds in did we get?
Oh, look at you at the comedy club.
It's your only comeback ever.
You promote more than Jade, and she's a promoter.
She pays me a wage, so I don't want to go too far on it because of course the gas and the mortgage have to be paid.
Of course.
I also love how you say you check in with him once a month. It definitely used to be so much more regular than that.
I'm so busy now, but you're never available.
Well, no,
How many times have I invited you out have I said I'll pop up to your house and stuff like that? I could actually go through the messages here now.
Oh, geez.
And what do I say? No.
You say, no, I'm busy. Willa's crying. Seth's crying. Chris is crying. I'm crying. We're all crying. The house is flooded with tears.
I always invite you out on my nights out. Sure, you're always there. Anyway.
No, I'm not. I'm not always there. I had one night out with you in this year.
I haven't had that many nights out this year.
Okay, so how can I
invited you to London.
There you go.
I was working.
Yeah.
I work weekends, Jade. You know this.
Mm.
I'm a comedian. Anyway, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
One thing I was actually, the Empire Comedy Club, I must admit, flying.
Yeah, no,
since I'm not going to lie, since it was reopened a couple of years ago, absolutely chaotic in there. It's so busy all the time. Yeah, What's happened? It's great.
Well, I just think comedy in general is flying, isn't it? And I don't know what.
You start booking the Butler, the club gets a little bit more prestige to it. Just tell it how it is.
I'm introducing you tomorrow night, so
can't wait to hear how that comes out.
Have you two been on together before? No, I don't
not
know.
at the Empire. No,
yeah, obviously. Yeah.
We've
surely have done one together. No,
never done the Empire together, mate. No, we did. You opened,
yeah. Your open spot.
Yeah. No, the open spot of 20 minutes. Yeah, when someone pulled out on you and I sneaked in there.
It's like cock blocking someone and you just moved in. Like.
yeah.
But the Empire's on tour as well. It's the second time you've taken it on tour.
Yeah,
so
last year.
Where are you going? What are you doing?
So I don't know when this is going out, but we have just done Portrush and we're going to Omagh, we're going to Newcastle, Derry, Armagh.
Wow. That's
all the hot spots.
That's a bigger tour than last year's tour, isn't
Yes, last year we did 3 dates, this year we're doing 6.
So are we looking at 9 next year?
Well, no, last year it was kind of like, let's test the waters to see if it's actually something that people want, and it was. So then this year, it's Harpier sponsoring it, so they are a great brand to work with, and they wanted to try and bring the comedy club to like the 6 different counties.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So, we are available for sponsorship as well from Harp.
Have you not got sponsorship?
We do have sponsorship.
We do, but we want more.
We want more. Like.
We always want more.
What do you mean greedy?
That's
like saying you want to have more than one meal a day.
No, it's not. It's
like
saying you want more than one partner.
Kids in Africa only get 1 meal a day, Andrew. How dare you?
How do you know?
Because I've been there. I've been to Uganda.
He's from there.
Did he only get 1 meal?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just, but yeah, Empire's great, isn't it?
Let's just go back to that.
Empire's
Can
great.
I ask you a question? You're the only person here, Jade, who's got kids and is married amongst us, right? I always ask you, what was your last argument with Chris about? Chris Henry, by the way, if you don't know, is Jade's husband. Chris is a lovely man, well-known socialite.
Well-known socialite.
I don't know if I'd call him a socialite. He's not Paris Hilton.
Well, he's a well-known socialite in the Northern Ireland
socialite scene. Chris Henry.
He's actually a medical sales rep.
He's a medical sales rep, former Ulster, former Malone rugby player.
What medicine does he sell?
He's orthopedic. He sells hips and knees.
Oh, apparently hip operations they smell bad. I've heard. My little cousin, she was.
She had a hip operation.
No, she didn't have a hip operation. She was training to do it.
Oh,
and
right.
she said she had to sit in.
Do what?
Hip operations or something.
So was she a doctor?
Physician or something. I don't know. Either way,
I don't know if you train.
If you don't even have the basics of what she actually does,
she does
how are we
something.
Supposed to know if the story's true?
She does something sport related. She does something. Yeah,
she's
work
a
experience.
Physio, mate.
No, she's not physio now. She's training to be something now. I don't know. I really should chat to her more.
What's her name? Do you remember her name?
Her name's Priyanna.
Yeah.
Okay. She's over in France at the minute because her boyfriend is a rugby. He plays League One or something. I don't know rugby. You guys know rugby.
I don't know rugby. Andrew does.
A French team. He used to play for an English team. He used to play for an English. I wish I could get you the names. I'll tell you after.
Right,
yeah.
So it smells. So Chris
apparently it's the worst smell.
Sells
hips and knees.
But
he's never commented on the smell of surgery.
Has he been into surgery?
Yes, that's what his job is, to be in surgery every day.
Wow. Looking at the
the hips
and knees.
I definitely couldn't do it. I think I'd faint.
That is terrible. But you're doing a more difficult job. Really.
I know, dealing with you too.
Running a comedy club and dealing with comedy club. What was I want to tell you, what was the last thing you argued about?
I know you were asking that. Do you know, I don't mean to be like, oh, we don't really argue, because obviously we do have our moments, but I think I'm a wee bit too easygoing. The last big thing that happened, I let things slide an awful lot because I can't be arsed. Yeah, I hate conflict. Yeah. But the last big thing that happened that was definitely argument worthy. Did I tell you about me leaving Mexico?
No.
I obviously didn't tell you, I haven't seen you. So we were on holiday there in Mexico recently, and when we were flying home I was at a wedding.
Oh, right.
I was bridesmaid, so we all had to go. It was our first family holiday.
Oh,
very successful.
Lovely.
Oh. But we were flying home through Los Angeles, so we were staying there for 3 nights to break up the journey time for the kids. Anyway, we get to Mexico.
For the kids, LA for the kids. Here,
Mum and Dad out in the cocaine, bags of smack for breakfast.
Do you want to hear what I was going to argue about?
Couldn't have went to
not?
Ballycastle as a stopover. You're like,
I feel like this story's going to be wasted on you guys anyway, because if you don't have kids, you're not really going to care.
No, it's okay. Go on.
No.
But when you're leaving Mexico to get into America, they check that you have your visa there and then.
Right.
So the one thing that Chris had to organise was his own ESTA. I had obviously done everything else for this trip. I had organised mine, the kids. We get to check, and we've checked in our bags and everything. Chris' ESTA isn't valid.
Oh, Chris.
So, yes.
Chris.
This man has travelled the world with the Irish rugby team.
Yeah, I know, but they do everything for him. This is the problem. Everything always works out. Everything gets sorted. So anyway, I then have to fly on my own with the 2 kids, and we've already checked in. So I have...
Chris left in Mexico?
Yes.
Is he still there?
He's there building the wall for Trump.
Mexico,
yeah. I am Chris Henry. He's just talking like that now. I used to play rugby.
I used to play with All-Star. We're so good.
I miss my wife, Jade.
No, I had to leave him there. No, because when you apply for an ESTA, it only takes about an hour and a half to come through. They say up to 72 hours. But I was kind of leaving going, okay, it'll come through hopefully tonight. But anyway, the other thing was that it was just cancelled. So I was kind of going, why was it cancelled for the last time you were there? I was kind of starting to worry that he wouldn't get another one given to him. But we'd already checked in, so I had 3 large bags, 2 kids, their 2 wee travel bags, my backpack, 3.5 hour flight, and Chris is just sitting in Mexico in the lounge with his AirPods and his book.
We margarita and all.
Waiting for
you
sombrero.
You want a burrito?
Then when we get on the flight.
By the way, that's the worst Mexican voice I've ever heard. That was so bad. I couldn't even continue this podcast without acknowledging it.
Do you want a burrito?
Why is he from Ardoin? That is awful.
So you're going to LA with your 2 children. Your husband is sitting feet up in a lounge in a Mexico airport.
Yeah, so tell me if this is argument worthy. We then get on the 3.5 hour flight and both the kids get their Mexico tummy bug on the flight.
Oh.
So I mean, like, both projectile vomiting.
Oh no.
What was it, Air Mexico?
American Airlines, I think.
Right.
Air hostesses weren't helpful. Both vomiting. Then we land and I'm like, right, okay, now I have to try and get off this flight. Will, I think she's wet herself, but actually it was a fart that had gone too far. And then that kept happening. I then have to get to Anaheim. It doesn't get worse. I then have to try and get like an hour and 15 minutes away from the airport. Finally get to the hotel. I don't know about you guys, but I don't really carry a purse about with me anymore because everything is on your phone.
Yeah.
No. Well, so we carry a purse.
I've pre-booked the hotel. Like, I booked it on booking.com and used my credit card, but whenever I got there, I didn't have like a card to back up my ID, so I wasn't even allowed to check in. So anyway, eventually got checked in, all sorted, and Chris just walks into the hotel bedroom like 5 hours after me.
Oh yeah, all big smile on his face.
So what did you say
retriever.
What did you say to him?
Do you know what? I actually was just so happy to see him at this stage because I was so worn out. So we didn't fight about it, but that is fight worthy, surely. Like, we were joking about now because Chris says that he still wouldn't be speaking to me.
Jade, if I was dating somebody, or you're married and have kids, so it's a very different situation. But if I was, say for example, I was married and had kids, and I was going out with somebody, and we were doing that, and they didn't plan their thing properly, I genuinely would be concerned about the future of the relationship.
Oh, that's grand divorce for you. That is
lack of prep and admin to me is.
But
is
also
a
when you think
red
about
flag.
everything else that I had to organise for the trip, not to turn into like, do you know what I mean? I was like, all of the kids stuff, so no, but didn't fight about it because it was just not worth it.
What was his excuse? What was the reason?
So he had an ESTA because he'd been travelling for like to go over to America a couple of times, the last 2 years. So the last time he was in Bermuda, he flew home through America and he got an email to say his ESTA status had changed, but didn't bother reading it. So he said it wasn't his fault that they just like cancelled it, but it kind of was because he just didn't bother reading the email. So don't know why they just.
They're very strict in America, aren't they?
Yeah.
And leaving Mexico to get in, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you're coming from one of those countries, they are very strict. Like,
so now basically I'm the perfect wife. I don't end up fighting.
I don't know. I think that's grounds for divorce, really. Like,
when was your last argument?
Today.
The golf last night. We were watching the golf.
Yeah. And what does the argument stem over when you're watching golf?
So we were watching the Masters recently, and I wanted.
Do you know what? The fact that she's even watching the Masters.
She likes golf. She
likes golf.
I think you can't fight with her over anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you sure she likes golf? Is that something that she put on like her Tinder profile and now she's still sitting there going
we didn't meet on Tinder. It was
Hinge. Yeah, it was Hinge. Sorry. Much more upmarket.
Much more upmarket.
How dare
cleaner. Like, cleaner. They wash it, everything on Hinge.
Cleaner.
They have direct debits and parking spaces at home and stuff.
Okay.
We kind of argued. No, hold on. Oh, my biggest issue at the moment. It's not really an issue.
Okay.
If she's actually doing something that's really nice, but it bugs me because there's no real need to do it. Mm-hmm. She goes around the bedroom, turning off all the sockets.
Right.
The little switches when you plug in the light or the phone charger at night, and you put the switch down. Mm-hmm. So my phone charger's in the wall. So at night time, I come in and I put the charger in, but she's actually turned the switch off. I'm like, stop turning the switches off.
I said, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Calm down.
I don't say it to her like
that's you at about 20% too. I'd hate to say that you're doing it at 100.
you know, I'm just like, stop turning the switches off.
Yeah.
She goes around turning the switches off, right? And I'm like, you can keep the switch on, leave it plugged in. She goes, well, what if it blows up? I said, well, you have to turn the thing on for it to blow up.
Yeah. Well, okay, fair enough.
That's
I thought you would have loved that because it's saving money.
Yeah, that's what I was
You
going
don't
to say.
burn any energy with the switch on.
Do you?
You do.
I thought,
What?
yeah. I was going.
If the charger's plugged into it.
I heard.
so.
But if it's not plugged into the phone,
I think like if your TV,
there's no energy going anywhere.
I heard even if the switch is on and there's nothing plugged in, it still uses energy. I don't
Where
know
do you
if
hear
that's
things?
true.
But where did you hear that?
Facebook.
Producer
TikTok.
Sean, could you check that?
TikTok.
If a switch,
If a switch is on but nothing is in the socket, does it use energy? Let's find
the big questions.
Yeah, these are the topics we get to.
Her affair upset me, but that was fine.
Understandable.
What a joke.
You can understand.
I have Alexa plugs, so.
So what does that mean?
Oh, you do it with your phone?
No, I do it with my voice.
Your voice.
My voice commands whatever
So
I
you
want.
say even
on.
Alexa phone, Alexa plugs. How does that work?
So say I have the TV plugged to the Alexa plug, I just go Alexa TV on, comes on. Or if I want it off, TV off.
So if you
lights off, sofa, whatever.
How do I get that?
How do I
just
can
buy the
install
plugs.
it for you if you want.
Could you?
You could install for yourself. You just buy the plugs. You reckon like it's wired in?
But no, he's a technophobe a wee bit like the.
You plug a plug into your
Would you
plug.
come
and then
over? I'll
plug
give you a
the
cup of
plug
tea
into
and
that.
Uh,
stuff.
what'd you say?
I'll give you a cup of tea, like.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You were
sure.
looking more.
I'll do it if you know, just be a wee bit less seductive.
We're off on tour later in the year.
The special little buddy
you
tour. The special
This is
little
your
buddy
Make-A-Wish.
tour.
He finally paid off. He's bringing you with him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you have to share a room with him?
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Single bed, just me
naked,
and Andrew. Yep.
and lights off. I
yeah,
used to
yeah.
wear a mask. And no crying.
Yeah.
No, but I booked a hotel room from last
Are you
night.
on tour? Sorry. I must have missed that.
Oh, have I not posted about it? Oh my God, Jade! She spends way too much time with comedians.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
way too much
Yeah,
time.
she's got bits. Jade's got bits. She's got a tight
Can I
five.
just say, Jade?
If I put all my bits together, I think I
She's
could
got a
do
tight five.
No, I think
What
I've got
is,
more than 5.
all right, let me ask. I'm going to ask you a negative question. What is it about comedians that drives you up the fucking walls?
Yeah.
You're a comedy promoter. You're dealing with
It'd be
comedians.
easier asking me what I like.
No. No, seriously. But like, what is it about comedians that you go, you know what? If I didn't love comedy this much, I wouldn't put up with this kind of behavior. Or like, there must be times, because when you're dealing and managing people, especially people who you rely on to come from over from England or wherever, they have to be there on time. They have to read emails.
Yeah.
What is the things that you actually
See,
go,
I'm actually going to be really nice now and say that there isn't.
Come on, Jade.
No, I know, but I don't ever have to deal with. Like, I've never really dealt with anyone at this level. I feel like whenever you maybe moved it up a level or you're booking, but then any of the ones that I know who are superstars now, they still have that. They still know where they've come from. The thing that annoys me most about comedians is how self-deprecating they are off stage too. You're just like, can you please stop going on and on about how shite you are when you're clearly not? Like, it's just annoying. And I hate it whenever jokes get tested on me backstage.
Oh, there's a vibe.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
You do.
I don't.
You're like, I got this bit, and I'm like, oh, Andrew, please. Like,
He does.
I can't. I'm not going to find it funny.
Do I do that?
Yeah, you
Oh
do.
no,
And you're not funny when you're not doing this.
I'm not funny.
No, like
When'd you book
when
me?
you're not. No, when you're not doing this. Like when you're just. When
Well, I'm
you're,
just myself.
yes.
So hold on a second. So you're saying
This is alter ego, Andrew.
Yeah.
right. So hold on a second.
Yeah.
Aaron and Jade.
Yep.
You're saying when I'm not working or I'm not being the comedian thing, I'm not funny.
Correct.
Oh, I wouldn't place you as like the funniest bloke I know. No,
You're not trying to be funny though.
Yeah, but I
not
wouldn't-
not off stage. I'm talking here now.
Rugby
Off
players
it.
don't play rugby when they're not on the field.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
That's
yeah.
that's a compliment, really.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's a
I have-
compliment.
well,
Most of the best comedians aren't funny when they're not trying to be.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's usually people who think that
That's
they're
what I
really
was looking
funny,
for. That's
like
what I-
me.
that's what I- Huh?
It's usually people who think they're really funny that actually aren't that funny
Yeah.
on stage.
Has there ever been a comedian you've booked? You don't have to name them. That you were like, that person will never come to this venue ever again.
Probably, but
Because-
then now I've forgotten about them because they
No,
haven't.
but have
come
you had
back.
any like experiences with comedians? Because you know you're if you've 3 or 4 comedians in every week, you know you're dealing with 12 to 16 people a month, right, on average. So there must be times, because I know certain comics, like if I see
Yeah.
them on a bill, if I honest to God now, if I get booked into a show and I see a certain person on the bill, I will ring the venue or the promoter and say, listen, I don't really want to do that gig anymore because I don't want to be around that person. Have you had people like that?
As in, have I had people tell me that they don't want to be
Yeah.
on the bill with someone? No. No, I haven't.
Yeah, well, it's good that
But I understand. I do know that.
Yeah.
You two are on together tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to rat you out.
Have you ever had any issues like that? No.
No, like obviously there'll be people who have come over the past. Like I've been doing it for 10 years now that I haven't invited back.
On what basis in general would you not invite someone? What is it you're looking for to be like
funny?
Yeah.
No, but have you not invited people back because of other reasons?
I really don't think so. Like I really can't think off the top of my head. Like there's no.
If I give you a name,
where is that
read
person?
this name.
Yeah. Read this list.
Was it him? Oh my God, was it him?
Yeah.
Was it him?
Usually things get taken out of my control, so it's like they drop off the comedy scene, so I don't have to invite them back.
Okay.
That's happened, obviously.
Yeah, nature heals itself in that respect. Well, you got to remember, it would be more if you're a promotion type company, like for example Shine, who book all these like a big American acts and stuff. That's probably where you're getting ego stuff involved. Do you know what I mean? When you're running the empire, like
I've not invited someone back because of ego. If they've got an ego and too much confidence, they're usually not funny enough. Drop the bombs.
Hey, exhibit A.
It would be, but anything else it kind of works itself out. If something happens to someone, they're not really on the scene anymore, right?
I gigged with a guy once and I've never seen ego like it, right? So this happened at a gig in England. I was quite newish, maybe 3 to 4 years I was going. And I was doing this gig and this comedian said, we were doing a competition, like a new act competition thing. And we're all backstage and there's like a draw done for when you're going on, like 1 to 7. So I was going on 2nd or 3rd or something and he was going on 5th or something like that. So we're all waiting and we're all in the green room and everyone's kind of like nervous, but we don't know each other that well. We're all new and we all want to do well. So there's a bit of competition, right? And I just turned on to this act and I went, where do you live or something like that? Like he goes, I live in London. I was like, okay, cool. I said, hey, you looking forward to tonight? And I swear to God, quote unquote, this was his line. Well, my first joke should probably be good enough for me to win the whole competition. And then got up and kind of like walked out of the room and I went, what a prick.
Yeah.
Like the arrogance of him.
But
was it a good joke?
It was a brilliant joke.
Well, there you go.
And he did win the competition.
Oh, that's worse.
But
where is he now?
Yeah.
Do you see my point?
Has he got his own chat show on?
As he progressed, what I'm saying is that he was very good at that time for his level.
Yeah.
But as you move out of that beginner phase,
you weed
go
out
into the actual semi-professional.
So you're saying it's better to just be mediocre at every stage?
No, but what I'm trying to say is that level of arrogance gets caught up with you in time. Yes. You know what I mean? Comedy is a process. Yeah. It's a time. Like I'm probably the best I think I've been ever, obviously, because I've got the most experience. But like I'm very, I feel really good about it. But it's taken a long time to get there.
So what annoys you most about the comedy scene? Stand-up comedy scene?
Yeah, that's a good question.
What annoys me the most about it? From a comedian's point of view or a booker's point of view?
Well, you're a comedian, so a comedian's point of view.
Okay.
I know you're a booker too.
I can talk in 2 sections here. I can talk about what annoys me about the comedy scene, i.e. what annoys me about comedy clubs.
Right.
Okay, and then I can do what annoys me about other comedians.
Yes.
Oh, he can go for
He's
a while.
He's like, I've got so many things that I need to get off.
Well, I hope you have a long hard drive there, Sean.
Welcome to the Andrew Ryan section of the show.
Did someone just ask me what I don't like about something? I've been waiting 2 years for this.
We'll just take a back seat here for a second.
Do you know what? First of all, comedians-wise, it's probably the best people I've ever met.
You're right.
In my whole life.
Comedians.
I love stand-up comedians. Mm-hmm. I think they are great people. They're very kind. There's great heart in them. They care. Obviously, on the downside, there's some absolute idiots and bellends and nasty.
Well, you don't need a degree to be a comedian. Anyone can kind of turn around and call himself one.
Stuff like that. One thing I don't like what comedians do. I don't like comedians. It just annoys me that go online and start talking about like a political situation.
Right.
I'll give you an example. Down south, there was a couple of referendums over the last 8 to 10 years. There was a same-sex marriage referendum, women's right to choose, like abortion and stuff like that. Obviously, totally in favour of all of them. I didn't have a vote because I was living in England at the time. But people come on and goes, we need to change all this same-sex marriage. I'm like, yeah, cool. We need to do this. We need to have women's rights to choose. I'm like, yeah, cool. And it's been... Excuse me.
You're very emotional about this women's rights issue, Andrew. It's okay. Yeah.
No, but these comedians, as soon as those referendums get passed, they don't care about the issue anymore because to me it's like, have people who have same sex who want to get married, have the right places being set up for them? Is there enough not churches but venues that are willing to facilitate them? Are women getting the right support? Are women getting access to clinics, free healthcare? Are they getting free advice? Are they able to carry out a medical procedure where it's safe and secure? They're not actually interested.
You're glad you asked this, aren't you? Well done. Thanks. Cheers. Ask him again what he hates about comedians.
I mean, you're being the comedian that you hate right now as well.
What I hate about comedians this moment right now.
But my point is this, is that some comics who have a platform will deliberately attach onto a subject or a topic to make them look amazing, right? But when that happened and it got passed, they didn't actually care about the women because they haven't followed, they're not interested in the facilities or the healthcare 3-4 years after. There's a big report recently down south that women are still going to England to have abortions. Where's all the people now that they were fighting for women's rights? That's my point. My point is we all have one vote. I do my voting. You know, I'm quite left field, left centre. I vote for quite progressive. I vote for, agree with all that stuff. But I'm not going to jump on a bandwagon unless I could actually see it through. Do you know what I mean? Right. People are only doing it to look. Oh, look at me! I'm amazing. Like, you can be amazing in the polling booth and not tell anybody by voting yes to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? See my point? I hate people who do that.
Maybe they're just trying to get more people out to vote, though.
I understand that.
And then actually get.
Yeah, but also it's a bit like they are doing that to get more people out to vote. I can see that argument as well.
Yeah, like
but
not
also,
many things are selfless, though. Like, is there very many things that are selfless?
That's true, Jade.
Yeah, but my point is that if they're all big interested in the issue and banging on and banging on and banging on about it and making it their personality for 6 months, and then the vote gets passed, you go, okay, cool. The vote gets passed. And then they're like, okay, what's the next thing I can do? When actually they're not actually interested in the actual facilities.
But you're doing stuff behind the scenes.
They're only interested, they could be like, oh, let's do it so we can get more people out to vote. What if those people go out to vote and vote against what they want? Do you know what I mean? There's pros and cons of all of it. My point is that jump on a bandwagon if you're really interested in it.
Okay, let's move on to comedy clubs. What do you not like about comedy clubs?
Thanks.
Let's see if I regret this one too.
You will.
Okay, what else?
I was kind of more looking for like bitchiness behind the green room.
I'll give my answer. My answer is there's like, it seems, and look, this is maybe me speaking to being older now, is that you get what I would call like the TikTok generation of comedians, and they just want the success instantly. They want like, and they have like an entitlement of, oh, well, I should be getting this gig or I should be getting this because I've did X, Y. And it's like, no one's entitled to anything. You just got to literally be funny.
And
like,
stand-up is definitely the hardest form of comedy because you not only have to like write a joke, you have to learn how to deliver it on stage and have a sense of presence and know what type of comedian you want to be.
Yep.
And then you also have to have the mental capacity to deal with like jokes that don't work.
Yeah.
So you have, it's one thing kind of, I feel, being able to do stuff online and then you get on that stage and it's like a deer in headlights sometimes.
I was gigging in London recently and there was a guy on in the middle section, 10-minute act. I'm going to give him a shout out. His name is Will Hitt. And I thought he was hilarious. Never seen it before.
Is that his real name?
Will Hitt, H-I-T-T.
Like birth certificate name or is that stage name?
Yeah. His name is Will Hitt, right? English guy, really nice, really tall, really good guy. Was on stage, was really funny. What'd you say?
I said Will Hitt.
I said, is that a joke about rap?
No, I just said his parents must have really loved him.
Oh, right. Okay,
yeah. Imagine calling your son Will Hitt. That's who you married to, Will Hitt. You know what I mean? He's abusive.
Lovely fella.
Yeah.
I'm sure, Will, if you're ever watching this, I apologise.
He thought he was doing him a favour, giving him a shout out.
I watched this guy. He's been doing stand-up 4 years, right? And I thought he was hilarious. He was doing 10 minutes, new act, absolutely brilliant. Came off after stage. You know what the first thing I did?
Punched him.
No.
That was funny.
Like, I'll get there first before he gets me. Yeah.
So I said,
you went, what's your name? You went, Will Hitt? You went, fucking Red Will?
Right.
Clip that for Will.
But listen to this.
Go ahead.
I said to him,
his brother can't.
That's good.
Yeah. His mum gives a hit.
All right, okay.
There's loads of it. I keep going.
I can see why you're still opening the empire.
Yeah. His dad, it's a
hit. Oh, very good. You're going to go
I can't stop now. Yeah. I mean,
right. So before he came off stage, the last minute before he was wrapping up, I saw his name on the board, so I typed it into Instagram to see. What are you laughing at?
Who cares about your story now? I've ruined it.
We're thinking about his name now.
I'm trying to talk about a new comedian I like.
How many people are following Will Hit right now after this?
You need to listen to the fucking story!
I genuinely actually feel bad for Will Hit right now. I've ruined his life. I haven't even met him.
I watched this guy. I thought he was great.
It's like super famous.
No.
I've ruined it. 10 listeners. Watchers, sorry.
I was watching this guy.
Yeah.
Will Hit. Thought he was great. Put his name into Instagram, couldn't find anything. He came off stage. I said, oh, hey, man, I just want to say I thought you were really funny. Really great set. Nice to meet you. How long you been going? He said, I'm going 5 years. And I said, I'm trying to find you online. And he goes, don't do social media.
That's weird, isn't it?
And I went, wow. Because the first thing I went and thought of is this guy got a massive online following? Is he coming from the TikTok side?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. No, pure comedy.
Yeah.
Just pure into it.
He decides after that gig with Andrew, right, you know what, I'm going to start up an Instagram.
Oh.
Opens it and sees this clip.
It's his first look. And he's just like, oh, why'd I do this to myself? He's all sad, no?
But he doesn't have Instagram, right? And I thought it was so refreshing. Or Instagram or TikTok. He's like, I'm not against it, I just don't do it. And I went...
Imagine not, like...
And I was just like, I just thought he was a really funny lad and I wished him all the best. And I thought he was really good. And I said, does he have any management or agent? He was like, no. And I went, oh, people should really be looking at you because I think it was so nice to see somebody completely...
How did he even get booked? I feel like it's so hard to book
just on email. Just does email.
Yeah.
But he's doing open spots, you know what I mean? Which are kind of like, you go on, and a lot of people, he probably has clips that he sends around on email, that he would have had recorded, but he just probably doesn't go on TikTok or put clips of himself up. But when you're talking about the TikTok people, have you had a lot of issues with people from TikTok stuff that are coming to you?
No, I haven't had any issues or anything. No,
because I have gigged with quite a few people who would have done very well online, say in the pandemic through comedy sketches and stuff like that. And then as life reopened, they realise, people aren't sitting in as much or whatever. Yeah. So they kind of go, well, I'm funny doing a sketch. I'm going to go and become a comedian now. And I've gigged with a few of them, people who've 500,000 followers, 250,000 followers. And you're thinking, oh, this person must be amazing. Yeah. And you're just sitting there going...
So I'm just nodding. I'm nodding.
You're nodding your whole body.
You're like... Sorry, it's a
no, but you're watching them and you're kind of going, they may have a following, but what the beauty about comedy is, I think, is you cannot skip the process.
No, I think they have skipped the process. They've gone from TikTok to arenas and then they realise that they want to go back.
Oh, in terms of the craft of comedy I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
so
they can get an audience.
Go back to clubs then.
But let me tell you this. If you're watching somebody on TikTok or Instagram, and listen, by all means, good luck to them, Like absolutely no issue. If that's how they're making their money, by all means, I'm sure I would have probably do it if I was in their situation, But what I'm saying is that if you go and you see somebody from TikTok that you like, brilliant, because I hope people will come and see me from TikTok if they like me. But with me, you're kind of, I'd like to think I've done 16 years of stand-up comedy, but if you went and you're like, how were they? Yeah, it was okay. Are you going to go back a second time? Do you see what I mean? That's the thing. They need to go in, learn every room and figure out their style and their actual voice. I've worked with some people who are you can clearly see that this is just an idea and they think I'll just sell it by being wacky. And that doesn't translate to live audience with people who've paid 15 quid. People are scrolling on their phone. That's a completely different environment.
Yeah.
And then you get the reverse of it where there's people who are doing stand-up just to get TikTok clips because they just want a social media clip. They just want
Is that Andrew?
Yeah.
Is it not?
No. I
post clips of things if they happen. I go, I could go a week without posting a video. I'm not trying to post a clip every day, but my point, I could go weeks and months not post clips. To me, it's like, look, I'm on tour. I want to promote myself. I'm not going to be on fucking BBC Radio 1. I'm not going to be on.
Shot every time.
Sean, we need a counter on the screen every time Andrew says the word tour and just dings. It's like the tour counter this week is 8. But yes.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean people who are they've maybe only done 10 gigs and they're filming every set and they're clipping it and putting it on TikTok and you're like...
Yeah, or wanting to put out the entire 5 minutes and hold that back.
Listen.
Make it better.
If you're doing comedy a year, stay the hell away from TikTok. You don't need a fan base now because you don't have the material or the time behind it. Like I can do it now because like Chris Kent, for example. Chris Kent has done 6 or 7 solo shows before he put his stuff online.
Yeah.
That guy has years of footage, right? So that formula, I genuinely believe, works perfectly.
Yeah.
Because he has the footage, he has the years, he has the time. So brilliant. But if you're doing it after a year, what are you're spending most of your time cutting clips rather than actually most of your time working on your act.
I agree.
You can cut the clips after 5, 6, 7 years.
It's like Colin Murphy. I've been working with him for over a decade, and I honestly don't think I've seen him do the same bit of material twice. I'm just like, how does he just keep
insane.
like? Yeah. And it's all so good.
Yeah.
But none of it goes out online. He's just like, no. Do you know? He's so passionate about the live.
For goodness sake, Andrew.
Sorry, my apologies.
The least professional man in the biz. Is it all right?
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. We'll just say.
Well, I was going to ask a question. I'll ask you first while he
go
uploads his next video onto TikTok. His alarm to go upload video to TikTok.
No, that's Will Hit being like, you talking about me? I
will hit you.
I was going to say check out Will Hit online, but he's not.
He's not online.
He probably doesn't even exist.
I know you've made him up. It sounds like a wee
I think that's his right name, but he was a great comedian, so you'll probably see a lot more of him in the future years to come. You know.
So whenever this is a bit different, but how do you feel about people your comedians giving you advice on your set, and how do you feel about giving advice? So if you're saying about these TikTokers, like, would you feel comfortable saying, "Oh, I think you could make your joke better if you did X, Y, Z"?
I have give younger comedians advice. In an appropriate way, like not like being cocky or arrogant or anything.
Back to the house.
Yeah. If you come round,
but like they've maybe asked,
turn your GPS off.
Yeah. They've said, "Oh, if you have any feedback, blah blah blah." I've given them it, and I might as well just said it to a blank wall because they just.
So they've asked you for feedback though.
Oh yeah.
Would you ever just see someone do a joke and say, "I think you could make it better"?
There's times I see them do a joke and I go, "That's an awful joke. Don't do that." Like, just because I'd be brutally honest, like, because I think you should be. You shouldn't just. I don't get. I think it's pointing pussyfooting around things like.
But you help people improve their jokes. I see it backstage in the comedy club all the time, and it's usually people who actually aren't that great that take offense to it, and like good comedians don't mind whenever
there's a way of doing it though.
Exactly, yeah.
So like for example, I was let's pretend it was Aaron, right? And Aaron went on, he was doing a new bit about, I don't know, going to Boucher Road or something like that, and I came in and said, Aaron, but it's about how you approach it. Aaron, that bit you do about Boucher Road, I think it's absolutely brilliant.
So in there first, say it's funny.
It's really good, man. It's really funny, man. I think that's a really, really good bit. You could probably do even more with it because it's so good. Have you thought about doing this? Instead of, hey, don't do that, do this. It's how you approach it. Yeah. Like I did a Dailies of Oma, which was a great gig, and Pete Giffen was on, and I saw him do a really, really good kind of surreal gag. I thought it was really funny. And he did that. What I can kind of see in some comics when they start out is they get the gag and they're like, oh, I've got my joke now, I'll move on to the next thing. When actually, you can actually keep working on that and work backwards. So he had this thing about the dishwasher and unloading. He has a fantasy about dishwashers not being loaded correctly or something that was quite surreal. And I said, the audience really laughed at that because they can relate to it because it's most people maybe may have a dishwasher. I said, so you've got the punchline, like, what other things are surreal in the kitchen that annoys you? So work backwards and put some fat on it, like, you know what I mean? And like rather than going, here's an idea and here's the joke. Here's the idea, here's the joke. It's like in a 10-minute set, you're just rattling through so much stuff. Slow it down. And
is that what you do whenever you're then putting together a tour show? Do you feel like you've got all of your jokes that are all separate jokes, but you try and make a story? I do try
to blend them all in at the moment. Yeah. And I think I've got the start of the show nearly done. You know what I mean? So
Bill Hitt has a Twitter.
Does he go? Does he? Good lad. Does he? What does he do on it? I mean, I don't have Twitter, so.
Yeah.
Does he post videos?
No, he hasn't updated it in like 4 years.
There you go. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It'd be great if he was campaigning for women's abortion rights. You'd be raging at that. What was I going to say?
I mean, for God's sake.
He's proving me wrong. I think it depends on the comedian as well that's giving you the advice. If it's someone that like...
Well, what if it's good advice, but it's someone who...
I gave Shane a line once. I don't think he ever used it.
Yeah,
no, I gave Shane Todd a line. He was doing this bit in his last show, which has been done now, but his wife was going into birth and he was over in the hotel. And they were like, and he was like, oh, you're not going to be, you can come back tomorrow. All right, well, do you want to walk over to me? Or, I mean, you can walk. Do I have to come pick you up? Like, she's heavily pregnant. He's basically him being lazy and being a shit husband or whatever. And then I was saying, like, but, you know, that hotel you're in has a spa, like, so why don't you be in the jacuzzi as Add in more instead of just being like, yeah, she just rings and I'm in the hotel. Yeah, but like, you know, I'm down.
So wait, are jokes not real?
So my point is like, no. So my point is like just say you were down.
Was he in the
spa.
hotel?
Yeah, he was in the hotel. What I'm saying is, instead of saying you were in your room, say you were in the spa getting a treatment.
Don't ruin the illusion.
Exactly. Say you're getting a massage. You're getting your nails done. You're getting a full massage. You're in a sauna. You know, you're sitting there getting food delivered while your wife is going to have baby. Like, make you even look like more of a prick, which will heighten the tension even more, which will then make a bigger laugh when the tension is released.
What do you heighten the tension? Like, I'm kind of going, are you not telling the truth now in all your stories?
All my stories are true, yeah, but there's the comic twist to it. Like,
that girl in London was a plant. The one that from Cork.
Oh, that clip that I did. Oh no,
like, I don't watch or listen to this, so I haven't got
I didn't get that one either.
The one with the girl, I said, "Oh, what's your surname?" And she told me, and I knew her auntie.
Ah, right, okay.
The one that got a few views.
I give Willie.
You do that quite a bit now, don't you?
Yeah.
No.
I can't redo audience banter.
No.
I don't do a bit like that. It's just a one-off clip.
Oh, right. You sure?
What do you mean? I don't understand. What's going on?
I don't know. But, right, so are you happy enough for people to know that you are... Like, do you like people thinking that when they go to your tour show that you're just a funny person telling a story? Are you happy enough for them to know that this is on tour and that you're telling every single different audience the same stuff?
Oh, yeah. They're all getting the same show. Well, I can't write a new hour show every week.
But that's
I know that, but as in, like, do you like the people in the room to feel like it's just you're having a chat with them, or are you happy enough? Like, would you ever say, like when I was doing this joke last week?
Oh no!
Or would you try and make it feel as if?
No, I think one thing I do is I make sure that if I'm in a room. So if I'm in Downpatrick, for example, I'll probably spend 5 minutes talking about Downpatrick and make sure that they know that I'm actually really present in the room with them, that I'm not just coming out going, hello, anyway, so I was in the shop the other day.
Your script.
You know what I mean? Doing my script. I will actually make sure that it's actually about them.
I think that always makes a massive difference when travelling comedians do the Empire. Because you can tell whenever someone's just coming over and they're doing their like 20-minute script and they're talking about Waitrose and like
Waitrose,
and you're like, don't have it.
You guys got motorways here. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's just part of Ireland or the UK. Don't even start, man.
That's your Mexico accent.
I want a burrito.
By the way.
Yes, have we found news on the plug?
Jeez, I thought it was a baby.
And then.
Can we just say this before we crack? Sean is here today while his wife is being induced.
She's not.
She's not being induced. See, that's the comedian in him exaggerating the story.
He's being induced today. That's the comedian. Adding the tension.
She's had 4 babies today already and is still going, bless her.
So she's due a baby in 2 days she's due a baby.
Yes. Andrew pulls me aside after this and goes, see that baby bit you have, it's quite good, but
there's just more you can do to it, Sean, you know. Maybe she's in the spa,
expand it.
Maybe she's in the spa, maybe she's getting a massage, I don't know. Just every bit.
So an empty plug socket does not use any electricity because the current has nowhere to flow unless there's a plug completing the circuit.
There we go.
Rest my case.
That's now we know. Now we're educated.
So stop turning the switches up.
Well, I don't live with you.
Down.
Tell the
one if a TV's plugged in but not turned on?
If the red button's on it, it's on standby.
So is that using?
You use a little bit, yeah. Only a little bit though. Only a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
It's only a little bit up to the red button. It's only from the wall to the red button.
That's rich people. That's standby.
Are any of you like me? Like I switch everything off. Like I don't leave anything on, like at night or leaving the house.
What about your new baby?
Yeah, switch it off as well.
Are you excited about being a dad this week, Sean? Because your life's fucked now.
Yeah, very excited.
Jade's got 2 kids. Jade, you've 2 kids. You had your first child, remember, for the first time?
Yes, that's the first time I had the first child.
Do you remember when you were there?
I was like,
remember
what
Angie
advice
was there
for the first 6 weeks of Sean's life? When the beautiful baby's born, he's got the name and everything. We don't know what the name is yet, but we imagine it's Jerry Adams.
Yeah, it's
Jerry Adams.
That's a gender.
It's gonna be a boy.
We are Junior.
Wolf Tone.
We baby Wolf Tone.
What advice would you give our lovely producer, Sean?
Oh, for the first 6 weeks, it is the toughest 6 weeks of your life, but it does then start getting a little bit easier, or you start understanding a little bit more. I don't know, just get prepared. And I don't think I've Googled divorce. Like talking about arguments, I wanted to divorce Chris in the first 6 weeks of the baby being born.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think you have to be married before you have kids, but I totally understand why you are, because it's too hard to leave. What?
Can I ask you a question? Do you get a push present?
No,
Someone told me this thing called a push present.
Oh, yes.
Is this a
and
thing?
if anyone deserves one, I pushed out 2 toddlers.
You need 2 presents?
I no,
They were babies. They're not toddlers. They were babies.
Well, it was 9.
The size of hers when they come out?
Seth was 11.3.
It was the Ulster rugby team that came out.
I deserved a present.
So the first 6 weeks, Sean, are you nervous about the first 6 weeks?
Yeah, I know it's going to be tough.
And are you and Nicole, are you a volatile relationship? Are you quite calm, or how does your relationship work?
What a question.
We're pretty good. We're
Like, do you argue much?
We were good too until we had a
We
baby.
argue, but we're not too bad. Like, we're
It's worth
we
it.
like
That's
to talk
the thing.
things out. We like to talk
Okay,
things out.
because I think from a male point of view, I can't say this, but I imagine maybe Chris experienced this, and Sean, you will go through this, but there must be a thing where you're seeing your partner in kind of pain.
Yeah.
That is the...
Yeah, so my first labour was like quite long. I went in for induction and it went on. It wasn't like the longest labour. It wasn't too bad. Like I went in at 9 a.m. and I think she was born at like 2:30 a.m.
Oh, wow.
the whole
That's
day.
long.
But I wasn't in labour the whole
What's
time.
the cost of the parking there for the hospital?
I had to get sunroofed out. My mum was there for 2 days.
Yeah, but you see, it is, and I wasn't in labour the whole time. You go in for induction, nothing really happens at the start. But it was very much when you go in to be induced, you're kind of in for that first day, and it's not technically labour. And then the next day they break your waters and they ramp it up a little bit. So Chris was all due to go home.
How do you ramp it up?
Then you like get a drip in and you get your waters broke, and they start trying to get the baby out. The first day is just to try and loosen you up a wee bit.
How did they try to get it out? Like, come on.
Yeah, basically.
Come on. Just holding a wee dummy
Well,
at the
do you
end.
really want to know? I feel
on.
like I'm in a room full
Feed
of
your
lads
body
here.
hormones.
Yes.
Oh, right.
So that's how they like start getting it. So the first thing you do when you go in is
Tease
get
it
something
out.
like a pessary, which is something that goes up to start softening and lowering your cervix.
A pessary?
Well, that's what I
sounds
got. I
nice.
think you can get a balloon.
Right?
But
The
something to
balloon.
basically knock on the door and be like, yo, it's about time that you left here.
Hey, not paying any more rent, Paul.
So it's
You're
like
9 months free.
you've
is
been
up.
evicted.
Hey,
You've got like,
you got
what
four-
is it, like 2 hours or
You
whatever?
got 2 hours to pack your bags and get out to the real world and get a job.
Then that means that they've got a little bit more room to kind of get their bits and pieces up to try and break waters.
That sounds like the colonic you get.
Yeah.
I think you've had many pezzaries.
I honest to God, I think childbirth for me, piece of piss.
Oh, it would be nice. You've been the inner angel
stop
a million
it.
times. You could home childs in yours.
Andrew is like just constantly 10 centimeters dilated.
Can I ask you a question? What does that mean? Is that when it's...
So that's what you have to. You go from being
You
like
laughed and
this.
then asked what it meant.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build...
So like the route that the child leaves is usually closed, right?
So like that.
So like say it's like this 1 cent, and then it goes like bigger and bigger and bigger. It has to get to 10 centimeters so the baby can get pushed out. So you dilate. It starts off like Tootsie, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
And how are you numb?
No, unless you
Are
get
you
an
in painkiller
epidural.
like?
So this is so with Willa it kind of went on a bit. Then she eventually came out fine. I didn't actually have to have the drip or anything. But with Seth, this is what I was saying before we started recording, is that I had left. I didn't want to be in gist with him, so I kind of let it go a week over. And by the time I got down to the hospital, he was already like on his way out. And it was a lot more straightforward. I think I got to hospital at like 5:30 and he was born at 7:30. So yeah, Chris was like, so the first time with Willa, he thought he was going home and he wasn't. And he was raging because he was like, I didn't get McDonald's. I turned around, he was eating all my snacks. I was like, why are you making this about you? And he was so stressed and couldn't like deal
Exactly
with
what
me being
I
in
do.
pain. And I kind of wanted to do it naturally and being home from home. And he was like, literally to the midwife, like, can we get her something? Like hook her up straight away. And then she brought me in like toast and a lava lamp and his mind blew. He was
Lava
just
lamp?
like,
What's a
no.
lava lamp for?
To try and like get away rid of my
feng
pain.
shui.
I know.
What's a lava lamp do?
Calms
Relaxes
you.
you.
Yeah.
Calms you.
I mean,
It didn't calm me. It did F all, to be honest. But then with Seth, it was all over within 2 hours. He was like, you did really well that time. I could deal with that. I was like,
eating his
"You're such a
McDonald's.
dick." That's another reason to fight. I know he was like, I was home with my McDonald's in bed by 10:30. Like, that was good, Jade. It's like, I'm so glad I did better for you this time, Chris.
yeah.
That's awful. Like,
Oh.
no, it's an awful. No, it's not awful from Chris. It's an awful experience.
But
That's life, guys. You know what I mean? Wow.
Are you doing it again?
no.
Are you done? Because the third time would be done in half an hour, right?
Geez, third time I'd be scared
you
about
keep
how
getting
big
quicker,
it would
right
get.
enough,
She
yeah.
was they keep getting bigger though. So Willa 9.5, Seth 11.3. If they're growing exponentially, but they said that they would have to induce me if I went again, and I was like, what, at like 20 weeks? I don't understand at how early you would have to induce me to get a normal sized baby out. So
My grandmother had 13 children. 13 times.
She was.
So I'd say
the whore of Cork Village, Liz.
I'd say she didn't even go into the hospital.
Yeah, but I don't trust anything you say anymore. She had 3 and you just are adding a team to the end of it to make it funny.
She had them all in a spa. Like the other.
I believe nothing. Are you even from Cork?
Well, we established this the other week.
Is he not?
He was born in Athlone Hospital. His whole life is a lie.
Oh, Andrew.
That's not even his real hair.
I know.
Not even my real teeth.
Yeah.
Hey, are you?
No, my granny had 13 kids. But she did have 13 kids.
Yeah, of course.
I've 12 uncles.
You said that with death in your eyes.
My granny
had 13 kids.
The more you said, it's not becoming more believable, by the way. If I just keep
my
saying
granny
this.
had 13 children.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I had 12 uncles and aunts.
In Cork.
No, in Westmead, Mullingar. So I was born in Athlone. I spent first couple of years of my life in Athlone, maybe 3 years or maybe 4 years, and then I was moved to Cork. I didn't have a choice over it.
Yes.
And then I grew up.
You had a choice over the Cork
to be
and
honest
the
with you, I
North
think
sign
I've got
then?
one
Yeah, true.
memory from Athlone when I fell down a manhole.
Hold on, you fell down a manhole after.
Yeah, so when I was a kid,
before.
2 things happened to me that I have a memory of. My sister threw one of my toys in the fire,
Right.
and I walked over and I didn't have a nappy on. And I
When you poo on it?
I slipped and I sat on a fire. And then
I don't think the nappy would have helped.
I know, but
Comedy effect. He did have a nappy on. Fucking did.
I don't know. No, I don't think I had a nappy on because the 2 pieces of coal stuck to my bum. And then I had to go to hospital. I still have the scar on my bum.
Oh, we don't need to see it.
And then the second one was I was being pushed in a buggy and my sister grabbed my hat off me and my mum stopped, I think, to talk to someone. And there was we're standing next to like traffic cones and a bit of rope. And I got out of my buggy and whatever way I moved and fell, I ended up going down to a manhole. And my mother had to run onto the street, stop a car. And I got lifted up out of the manhole.
Wow.
And then rushed into A&E and I was fine. And they're the only 2 memories I have.
Can we get some like music playing over this whenever it's going on?
And then I moved to Cork when I was like 3 or 4. So I am from Cork. Like, but I was
So
born
this is
in
why you're
Athlone.
such a good comedian, because you've got such a traumatic
Yeah.
childhood.
The manhole baby of Athlone.
In the north.
That's what
That's the title of the episode.
The manhole baby of
Athlone.
Athlone. That's how I'm renaming you in my phone too.
So you got into comedy to obviously try and get over all of this.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of trauma, yeah.
Yeah.
But not trauma through.
Do you know they are actually socially prescribing stand-up comedy courses on the NHS now to help people with
That's
trauma?
worrying.
That's
not
worrying,
good.
like.
That's
I
not
know,
good.
because they say it's supposed to make you stronger,
Mental.
more resilient and happier, which I
What?
mean, I haven't seen that displayed in any sort of comedian
Oh,
so far.
I'm-
But yeah, I can kind of get where they're coming from. It's
I
basically
would say
like,
I'm happy.
I'm joking.
Yeah, how-
Oh, right.
Jesus.
Oh, sorry. I don't get jokes. Like,
He doesn't. Yeah.
It's comedy effect. Yeah, you're happy.
Yeah.
We believe you, Andrew. Yeah, so it's kind of like if you've gone through something traumatic, like the manhole in Athlone, and you talk about it on stage, or you don't even need to get on stage, but if you're paired up with a comedian to help you write, it's obviously like really, like you talk about a lot of dark stuff on stage. It gets like a lot, like your last show, a lot of it was about your mum passing away. So it is like actually supposed to be quite therapeutic.
is that dark?
Yeah.
No, it's so light.
Is it?
Well, yeah, you're talking
Your mum
about a
dying?
traumatic experience in your life, yes.
Oh, fair enough, yeah.
But you're trying to be funny about it. Like that's
I was
like,
funny about it.
trying to be funny about it. Emphasis on the trying. No, you were very hilarious about it. But yeah, that's a bit of a weird thing to be
weird,
funny
isn't
about. Like it's not something that you would think would be funny, but that's what
Yeah.
most comedians do. They try
That's-
and talk
yeah.
about their issues in a funny way. So it's like, okay, well, these people who are going through trauma.
Well,
they
I've got a
can-
bit in the show and in the new show about how I worry about myself a lot.
We all worry about you.
We all
Andrew.
worry. Yeah.
Maybe I could do a bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I have a bit
I
in my
worry
show
about
about worrying
Andrew.
about you.
Andrew first came into my life in 2014. And since then, I've been worried. I'm very worried. I don't know. I'm excited about you going to come to the show?
On your tour?
Yeah.
When are the dates?
Was Mandela Hall, Belfast. They'll suit you and Chris and stuff like that. Hopefully,
Yeah.
you come, because I thought about you the other day, Jade. I was up at Belfast International Airport. I was on my way over to London recently, and I was there, and I turned up at the same time as the Ulster rugby team, and I was like,
Complete
Jesus,
coincidence.
What a
Oh,
coincidence! I actually wasn't doing.
You don't
any
fly out of
No
international
gigs, yeah.
airport?
I did on this occasion.
Because the Ulster Rugby team were going to
No,
be
I
there.
didn't do that.
That's funny because you always say that you don't bother going there.
No.
You live 5-minute walk to City Airport,
Yeah,
live in Hollywood, live in East Belfast, depending on who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
I actually live in North Down, Jade. Okay. I live in North Down. That's my area.
Yes.
I live in North
Okay.
Down.
Of course.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. You
But
live
you
in
went
North
to-
Belfast.
Yeah, I do live in. Yeah.
Right. Now,
More
so
than
I
half
was in the airport, and I saw your friend, Ian,
Yes.
and then I saw Stuart, your other friend, because I know
If you
you're-
saw the Ulster Rugby team, I'm kind of guessing that you saw.
I
these
saw them,
people.
yeah, and it was great. It was really good. And then I decided, they're off to France to play the.
You got on the flight.
I was flying it. I'd learned it all in the plane simulator at home. That's why I got the simulator just for this particular day. No, but, so another message from one of the this guy, Pilot James, and I'm hoping I'll get back to him this week. But we've had to put it on the back burner due to some personal stuff.
The tarmac sweat.
Can we put it on the back burner?
Well, is this not just like a CD-ROM type thing?
It
no.
should be.
I thought that's what it was.
No.
It
built in
should
the
be.
holes. It's
But
2.5
Andrew
grand.
is getting a full kitted out room seat.
I thought you were
It's-
going to put this in your house.
No.
No.
So what's happening is we have a double bed in the spare room that's going,
Right.
and then we're painting.
Me, I'm moving in.
We're painting the spare room pink.
Right.
Judy's got this idea of what she wants to do with it, and then I'm moving Judy's studio into this old spare room, and we're going to put in a single bed, tiny single bed that has a fold-out one as well for visitors, and then the old office is going to be the simulator room. So I actually have, would you believe it, on Wednesday the painter coming to start it, and then we're dismantling the bed. So
Would you believe it?
Would you believe
You
I
have a painter coming on
Yeah.
Wednesday to paint it pink.
I
to
would-
get your single bed
I
with a pillow.
can't-
I can't believe
A
that.
painter's coming to paint?
Just stop it.
Fuck off, manhole baby of Athlone.
Comedy effect, it can't be true.
So will you listen? Come around to the house. I'll fly you to Paris wherever you want to go.
Yeah, go around to Andrew's house.
So it's more than just a computer then. There's.
It's a whole simulator.
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole
It's a whole
fucking.
new
It's a whole
world.
world. It's
Have
a
you
travel
practiced
experience.
on like a computer?
Well, we're
thing
hoping.
first? We'll see if you like
I've done
it.
it. I've gone into some. I've paid for it and gone in and used them, and I'm hoping to sort out a trip for me and Aaron and us.
I'm 9/11 in it as soon as I get on it.
No, we're going to go down to Newton Ards to use the simulator down there, and we're going to record a podcast with me flying a plane.
Wow.
And
Yes. Do you sometimes Jade is just my inner monologue?
oh, she's great.
That is Jade. That's exactly
it to
what I
sound
was thinking.
That's why I got. Whoa. I know it's so boring, but hey, I'm into it. I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'll listen to that episode.
So you're the Ulster Rugby team. Did we finish that? I don't
Yeah,
know.
was
Is
there-
that all?
was
Is that
there-
all
I
happening?
know, but I ended up. I was like, really have a great weekend, have a great game. Hope it goes well. I was asking them what their hotels and where they were staying and stuff.
Class.
That is
course,
just
of course.
yeah, amazing.
Yeah, and they didn't do. They got beat. They got beat bad.
That's your fault.
They got beat bad.
They were
But
thinking the
anyway,
whole game. Who the fuck was that guy?
He didn't even say hello. He looked at them from the corner, took a picture, and sent it to someone. Was like, I can see him.
I was just
Oh no.
Anyway, listen, Jade. Empire Laughs back every Tuesday. Where can people buy tickets?
EmpireLaughsBack.com.
Okay, and the tour is on till the end of April. Is it early May?
It's like every Wednesday for the next 2 weeks, and then there's a bit of a break, and then it's the last kind of couple of Wednesdays in May.
Right, so obviously
Tickets are sold out for it, but we might be able to sell some walk-ups on the door. So
yeah, so keep an eye out. Normally some door tickets get released on the door, but if you've never been down to the Empire Comedy Club, every single Tuesday down on Botanic Avenue is the longest running comedy club on this island, and I think probably the best comedy club. It's great, always packed and busy, like things, straight after St. Patrick's Day, again rammed, straight after Easter, rammed. This place it's thriving, so great comedians as well are coming all the way over from England as well, and Scotland and Wales, so it's great. So please do check it out. Aaron, you're just writing this year, are you?
Just riding this year, going on tour with you, just trying to do wee bits and pieces,
Good
how
stuff.
it is.
Well, check out Aaron's special as well. That's up on his YouTube. Thanks, everybody. Please do subscribe to the Patreon. Don't forget the Doan Pub. 25% off your food Wednesday to Saturday if you use the code Cork25 as well, as they are sponsors of the Cork in the North podcast. Appreciate your time. Big thanks to Jade and Aaron. Talk to you again soon. It was good crack this one. Really enjoyed it.